How was this past week? And do you have any questions or comments about the lessons? Well, I'll remind you, some of you were here with me last week, and we did a lot of work on intonation, right? Do you remember all the work we did on listening for even, rising, and falling intonation?
Yes.
Okay, good. And did you do more practice with the CDs, with the videos, or maybe even with the archive of our lesson? Did anybody practice some more of intonation?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Is it getting better, staying the same, or getting worse?
I hope so. No, it cannot become worse.
It cannot
can
become
get
worse.
Only better and better.
Okay, for you it's getting better and better. All right, good. So if you practice, you'll get better and better. So that's a good thing. Now I'm trying to wait. Last week, didn't I put the link up there? Oh my goodness! I intended to put the link up there, but I must have dreamed about it and not actually implemented that.
Marsha?
Yes.
I have a comment for you. Could you remind Marsha to start the recorder? Maybe you should start the recorder.
Thank you for saying that. This time I remembered. So good. I appreciate your reminder. Good. And also, I'd like to say to you that you should pronounce that recorder. Not recorder, but recorder. So recorder, 3 syllables, stressed on the second. Can I have you say this again? Recorder.
Recorder.
Excellent. Everybody say recorder.
Recorder.
Recorder. 3, 2. Recorder. Good. Now, put your feet on the ground. Push yourself up. You're going to stretch on the stressed syllable because you're going to stretch out the vowel and you're going to rise in pitch. Recorder. Recorder.
Recorder.
Start the recorder.
Recorder.
Remember to start the recorder.
Remember to start recorder.
Good. I get to see some of you doing this, and some of you are sitting there kind of like this. And I want you to change this to this. All right? So use your body to help you really feel the stressed syllables and how they are higher and longer, stronger and clearer than the unstressed syllables. Let's try that again. Remember to start the recorder. Remember to start the recorder. Everyone together. Remember to start the recorder.
Start the recorder.
Good. All right. That's good. Try to use your body memory to help you. Remember, pronunciation is a physical act, right? And we want to be able to pump up the stressed syllable to make it higher and longer and clearer than the other syllables. Okay, that was great. So now I have started the recorder. And I need to do another thing. I totally intended to put the link to last week's Teach and Confer in the video folder in the lessons area of Angel. But apparently, I'm looking there now, apparently I didn't do that. I only thought about it, but I didn't actually do that. So, if you don't see a link to the video, send me an email and ask me, did you record it? Because if I recorded it, then I should be able to enter that in our video folder. Okay, so this week you were supposed to work on not only the intonation, but also about that sound that is so common in English and not common in a lot of other languages. And that's a consonant sound where you use your tongue and your teeth. So what sound is that? Does anyone want to venture? The th sound, right. In lesson 4, in chapter 4 of Phrase by Phrase, the story is called John Thornton's Love for Buck. And this is from a novel by one of our California authors. And when we look at this whole passage, we see that it has a lot of TH sounds. Now, can you take a little piece of paper, like so we can practice this important sound that we have. We have two sounds that are TH sounds, don't we? Two of them. One of them is voiced and the other is voiceless. I'm now going to change to let you view my document. Let's see if I can find the one I want to share with you. Let's find I'd like to share chapter 4 with you. Let's see if CCC Confer is going to let me do that. Okay, let me know if you can see the page of the book, chapter 4, John Thornton's Love for Buck. Are you able to see that?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, very, very good. Okay, so this one is a story, as I said, that comes from okay, just a minute, I'm just moving things up here. Okay, that comes from The Call of the Wild. The Call of the Wild by Jack London. Have any of you ever heard of Jack London Square in Oakland? Have you ever heard of that? That is the name of a place. Maybe some of you are not familiar with East Bay. I grew up in the East Bay. I grew up in Berkeley. Maybe some of you have been around the East Bay, but Jack London Square is actually named after this author, Jack London. And he lived in Santa Clara, he lived in different parts of California, Northern California, and he traveled as far as Alaska, and he liked to write stories about what was considered to be the wilderness at that time. And so the story, John Thornton, he's the one who's the master of a dog sled. So the sled is pulled by many dogs, and one of the dogs' names is Buck. So that's the John Thornton, and his main character, the dog, is called Buck. And so that's what this story is about. So you know that John Thornton had saved Buck's life, but further, he was the perfect master. Other men looked after their dogs because they thought it was their duty, and because it was good for their business. John Thornton looked after his dogs as if they were his own children because he couldn't help it. And he saw further. He never forgot a kind word, and to sit down for a long talk with them was his delight as much as theirs. He had a way of taking Buck's head roughly between his hands and resting his own head upon Buck's. He would shake Buck back and forth all the time, calling him bad names, which to Buck were love names. Buck knew no greater joy than his master's rough embrace and name-calling. At each pull back and forth, it seemed that his heart would be shaken out of his body, for his joy was so great. And when John Thornton let him go, Buck sprang to his feet. His mouth laughed, his eyes sparkled, and his throat vibrated with unspoken sounds. In that manner, Buck remained, without moving, so that John Thornton would cry, "God, you can almost speak." That's our story. Do you like that story?